Shabbat Shalom. In this week, which is arguably one of the most grossest Torah portions that we see in the entire Torah, we actually get a really important paradox that I think has something to teach us about how we live our lives today. The Torah portion describes what happens to a leper, someone who has this physical affliction called tzara'at, and how they get exiled outside of the community to someplace far away. They're still part of the community, but they contain some kind of spiritual impurity that, left unchecked, could really have ripple effects outside. And rather than let these people sort of live out their lives or forgotten on the outskirts of the community, there was a requirement that a priest should travel from their place, sort of in this place of spiritual purity, that they actually needed to go outside of the camp to where the lepers were living and check on them, that they should see if their afflictions had changed, or if they were ready to be brought back in to the community because they were their disease had been cured after some time. And it makes us think about what this really important job function for priests who were supposed to maintain their purity, but in fact had this really important job that required them to give up that pure status for a time for the sake of the people who are outside their community. And the reason I bring this up, this paradox, is because we live in a time where it's really easy to find ourselves in our own little boxes, in our own little echo chambers, in our own little worlds. That's made all the more challenging by social media and the ways that we do or do not communicate across difference, or even know that there are people in our communities with whom we share differences. And what I'm really hoping that we can call to mind this Shabbat is this idea that we need to be people who cross over, who are people who go and reach out across difference to try to realize that even in that difference, there is something that we share, whether it's our shared humanity or our shared struggles or stories of someone else that sounds remarkably like ours. In Hebrew, the Torah calls us, before the Torah calls us Jews, the Torah calls us Ivrim. Ivrim is where we get the word for Hebrew, in Hebrew, which is Ivrit. But Ivrim comes from the word for people who cross over, for people who are boundary crossers. As Jews, that is part of our legacy, to use the fact that we are a chosen people with a chosen destiny, that we should be the ones that go out and try to be the ones to make a difference, to cross over, to find something new about the people around us. That we shouldn't feel comfortable resting on our laurels or within our own echo chambers, but to always know that there is another voice that we need to honor, that we need to hear. There's another story that we need to pay attention to. And it is only by being boundary crossers, I believe, that we will find our way to a better future, a future that's marked by empathy and shared stories. Shabbat Shalom.